You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. In this installment, pets that will literally eat your house. Why you might not want to shower on an airplane. And Marci comes up with another potentially lucrative business plan, which also involves water.
The dude is eating the ramp that Frankie put out back. Just gnawing on the... But why not? Because the puppy ate the cat scratch thing, so why not the goat eat the dog ramp?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's
Yeah,
what scares
welcome
me.
to my world.
Scares me that it makes sense. It shouldn't make sense.
Everything's got to eat something, right?
Why not eat your house? It sounds like the Three Little Pigs. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll eat your house down.
Or it's the circle of wood.
Speaking of eating things, my friend actually tried to interest me in the glories of the lettuce wrap.
Ew.
That's what I said. Like, what? Why?
That's no friend.
Well, she didn't offer it to me personally because she's on the phone, but she's one of these I don't eat gluten people.
Oh, I love gluten.
When I stop eating gluten, you will know that it's time to order a cemetery plot from me.
I think my arms and legs and head just might fly off without gluten. It's what keeps me together.
How many years did you live without ever hearing the word gluten-free?
I know. It kind of drives me nuts.
I understand that there are people who really medically cannot eat it, but the rest of y'all.
Our grocery store up here, Eve is so mad. My youngest child is just furious because she loves these little, they're like tea biscuits in the kosher section.
Oh,
of
I
the
know
grocery.
those.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
her favorite thing in the world.
Really?
Our grocery store replaced its kosher section with non-gluten. We can't get any of the good Jew food. Instead, it's non-gluten.
You should have bought more of those little biscuits and they wouldn't have shut down your kosher section. I am actually planning to travel with a suitcase full of gluten. I'm getting on a plane and I am bringing Chicago pizza to friends. And since I am getting ready to travel, I am living in fear that I will forget stuff.
Yes.
I am noticing that if I do not write everything down, and here's the awful part, I don't remember if I was always like this or not.
I've always been write everything down and then lose whatever I wrote.
Yeah, but the act
So
of writing it was the act of writing it that got it in your brain, right? It didn't matter if you lost the list.
That's
the
true.
fact that you wrote it down, you can physically remember. And I read some paper somewhere that there are people who actually learn by the physical act of writing stuff down. So
That's me. That's how I learned, to be honest. I don't learn from reading. I learn from copying.
Well, there you go. So now, because of my late middle age, I have opened up the suitcase. The suitcase is out. The suitcase is open. And then I believe you know my technique. I just throw anything that I might conceivably want to bring onto the suitcase. And then the night before I leave, like some dog digging a hole, I just fling things out of the suitcase.
Well, you can always buy more underwear.
That's true. At least I'm not at the point. I have a girlfriend who packs her blood pressure monitor and takes that with her whenever she travels. I'm not doing that. The overhead bin is already a challenge. Not doing it. Will not do it, and I will not eat lettuce wraps.
I do have a solution for the overhead.
Lettuce wrap. Oh, for the overhead. Well, I struggle until some 6 foot tall person lifts it up and puts it in. So
being lifelong vertically challenged, I've never, ever, ever been able to reach that overhead, no matter whether my bag weighed 2 pounds or 40 pounds.
Yeah, you're jumping up and down like a circus poodle. You're just kind of leaping.
I perfected the big doe-eyed look that says, "Oh no, what can I do?" without saying anything.
Yes.
And someone always comes, whether it be male or female.
Yes.
There's always somebody taller than me.
Curses, somebody always rescues that girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not that much taller than you. And now that we all have to take our shoes off all the time so that I travel in like the flattest sandals I can find so that I don't have to strip down and walk across the disgusting airport floor. where everyone has spilled whatever they had to empty out of their bottle so they could bring that through. Then I'm even shorter. When I see films or commercials of how luxurious air travel used to be,
Everybody smoked, dude. It was not luxurious. It was like a big flying piece of metal full of smoke.
you are complaining about smoke?
Well,
You?
yeah. Well, I'm talking about before I smoked. I would
Ugh.
never smoke on a plane.
No?
There's certain places I don't smoke in my house.
Well, now. I can still vividly remember this museum display of a luxury cabin on a 1940s international airline. It was about a community of people who were refugees, and they explained how they flew them out of the country where they were refugees, and that the guy who forged their papers rented a suite on an airplane, essentially. And
Suite.
you could get like a hotel suite in an airplane and not have
Wow.
and not be flying on Emirates Airlines, where you can also take a shower. But can I just say that
Not on my fly
there
anytime budget.
there is no way that I would ever, even if I were a gazillionaire, I would not take a shower on an airplane, and I'll tell you why. Several reasons. Number one, turbulence. I don't want to be in a shower
Knocked out
when
naked.
the plane jostles me right into the shower head, and I pass out, and everyone from a country where they don't normally see women without a lot of clothes on comes racing in to help me. No, thank you. And then the next thing is, well, that's really a huge thing. I mean, like, just even the idea that I would be naked and soapy on a plane where there's turbulence.
Yeah, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. And then the other thing is, everything on planes is so miniature, and those airlines are so high tech. I would actually be wondering if they would be monitoring my suite and my shower from any part of the plane, because they could. I kind
Oh,
of
see, I thought you were going to say pee water because they would recycle the toilet water into the shower.
oh, heaven forbid. No, and you would smell that right away. Yeah,
Not
no.
necessarily.
If someone's flushing a toilet onto your head, you're going to know it really fast. You're not going to be like,
Ozzy,
what is this
there,
that I...
there could be
No.
there could be an airline official with a little bottle of Ozium
Not
just spraying
happening.
it into the toilet.
Not
so the
happening.
water doesn't smell.
What's more likely is that they have the equivalent of the Nest camera somewhere in that little high-tech bathroom. And, you know, they have so many little buttons and high-tech things. They could sort of put it right out in the open, and you wouldn't even necessarily
true.
realize what it was. You would think it's a vent, it's a call, it's some luxury thing. I don't know what it is. It's a plug for something. And really what it is a bunch of people from a country where they don't usually see women without a lot of clothes on, just kind of surveying the inventory there.
But you know, that could happen in any Airbnb or hotel
It
motel.
was happening. It was happening in some Airbnbs, and there was a big scandal, you may recall, about a year ago.
So you mean I can't take a shower when we go to Mexico next month?
Well,
We're staying at a VRBO.
I will send you a clipping of the article. You can make up your own mind. But here's what I've decided. I kind of like the idea of low-tech places, because if the owners are not really comfortable with technology, that doesn't exactly guarantee me a level of security, but it encourages me toward that belief.
I'd like to think that any guy who sees me naked who isn't my husband will immediately turn to stone. So it's going to be...
I like to think that any guy who sees me naked other than my husband deserves exactly what he gets.
There you go.
Yeah, you want a naked old lady? Here you go. Knock yourself out. It's a reason we wear clothes. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes?
Because I asked this question on Facebook,
Uh-oh.
and your answer was ambiguous.
What? I've forgotten all about it. I had to get up this morning early, and I have wiped my memory clear because of this.
So did I. I had to go get a blood test,
Oh, dear.
and I have rolling veins, and I actually remembered to tell her for once
Oh, good.
that I have rolling veins, so I
Yes.
didn't get 150 pokes.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to...
Did you faint anyhow? Because often you do.
I know. No, she gave me a little football to squeeze.
And that helped?
Yeah, I
Good.
squeezed a little football, and tried to think about the Detroit Lions' new losing season. So
She could have given you a leaf of lettuce and told you to wrap it. That would have had this.
exactly, make a sandwich.
Make a
What do
lettuce
you
wrap.
put it? What do you put in it? Radishes?
I do. Probably. My friend was describing her lettuce wrap, and the more stuff she
Oh.
described, the less appetizing it sounded. There is no way on God's green earth that you can convince me that a lettuce leaf is a tortilla. No.
Agreed.
Anyway, go ahead. So what is this memory thing that I've forgotten that was on your Facebook page that I'm supposed to have an answer
Well,
to?
it's not a memory. It was a question that I asked that no one seemed to have an answer for.
What was the question?
How to teach a puppy to drink water while it's in the bowl without stepping in the bowl, without dousing our entire great room with water on the tiles.
I remember now what I answered to that.
You said you don't.
I said some dogs never learn that technique. And I say this because of the 3 German shepherds who have been in my life. One of them was just a sloppy drinker. Just and not even the one that's congenitally missing a couple of teeth. The one that was a sloppy drinker, you could get a bowl the size of Vermont and she would still figure out a way to slop it out the side. Eventually it looked like we were preparing to go camping in the area where she drank, because we had the big tarp rolled out underneath her bowl.
I was thinking a giant sponge.
Well, you could get one of those mats, but that'll get moldy. I
True.
mean, here's what I have to say to you. Be glad you have a tile floor.
That's true.
Yeah. Just be glad you have a tile floor, and you can put something out under it.
It's a huge mess because we use one of those 5-gallon instant water feeder things.
Yeah.
Because we have 5 animals drinking out of it.
Yes.
Yeah, he empties it very quickly all over the floor.
5 gallons of water all over the floor?
Well, not 5, but a lot. It just keeps coming out.
Can you
And
give
so
him...
now there's this big clean spot.
Now we've come to the real problem.
The real problem is the big clean spot, which means that I'm going to have to wash all the tiled floors in the house to make a match. And Mama don't want to.
Yeah, I see what the real problem is. The real problem isn't
I-
the puppy. The real problem is you and your fancy mop that you bought.
I have a scathingly brilliant idea, though. You just gave me a really good idea. I'm going to put water bowls in every room and hallway and let him drink out of those.
Oh, that is brilliant. All you'll have to do is connect the spots then.
Yep. Marci's dog wash.
I like this. No, that's when you wash the dog.
Dog floor wash?
Yeah, Marci's
Floor dog wash?
Phyto floor wash. That's what you're going to call it. The Phyto
There's
floor
my
washing
invention.
system. Yes, there's your million. Although
Better
really, I
patent
think
that.
Tarot COVID was still better, but I'm willing to consider. I'm willing to consider Phyto floor wash.
I might be able to. Oh my gosh. The goat is ripping the screen out. He wants to come in. He just grabbed the screen and pulled it out. I'm not kidding.
Every time I think of you and your animals, I remember that song as a child. I know an old lady who swallowed a fly.
Yeah.
I don't know why she swallowed a fly.
Well, I have a goat who
Perhaps
swallowed
she'll
a
die.
screen.
She swallowed the goat to catch the dog. She swallowed the dog to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the... What did it catch? Oh, spider that wriggled
This is
and
the
wriggled
song
and
that
jiggled
never ends.
inside her.
Yes. Yup.
Yeah.
That's my house, all
That's
right.
you. At that time, you did not know that eventually you would be that old lady who swallowed the fly.
No, I didn't. Well, I'm not swallowing flies.
You have swallowed flies. I know that you have.
I'm sure I have because I'm a camper and we don't look for bugs in our
you
Kool-Aid.
just swallowed them.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens. You live long enough, you turn into a children's counting song.
Yep.
And if you don't watch it, pretty soon you'll be wearing a Hello Kitty shirt. If you've made it this far, chances are you've been enjoying Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. In which case, you might also like my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. You can find that at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon. Marci and I really appreciate your good reviews wherever you care to leave them. Your kind words help the podcast grow. Thanks.